Thank you so much. Once again, this is 𝗲𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗂 from MassMailer. I would like to talk about new features that we are launching in the next release. That's 2.52. If you're currently using MassMailer, you may be on 2.50. That's the current latest version. But very soon, we're going to make a formal announcement on the new release, 2.52. We would open up for a sandbox preview because we want to make sure that you're all good with the functionality. If you already have a sandbox instance, feel free to go ahead and follow the instructions that we'd be receiving sometime soon. And if you do not have a sandbox plan from MassMailer, I kindly request you to opt for that. Very important to make sure that you actually try it out in sandbox before you launch in production. If you do not want to do that, you can actually wait till we open it up for the production. That may take a month or so. Typically, we would want to give like 4 weeks before we actually say that, hey, it is safe for you to go ahead and install it in production. But right now, we request you to install only in Sandbox. Anyways, you're going to receive all those instructions in the email that you're going to send in the coming week or so. Thank you so much once again for joining the webinar today. I'm actually going to get into the new features that MassMailer is going to have in the upcoming release called 2.52. First and foremost, I'm sure if you have been using MassMailer, you must have experienced the fake events. Fake events meaning bot events is the right word to say. Whenever you're going to send an email, many times if the recipient email servers having higher security controls, your emails may get opened, clicked automatically and get scanned thoroughly. And also if at all there's going to be unsubscribe link, it may just get clicked. It doesn't happen all the time. It happens only when there are higher security controls and spam filter softwares with a higher authority would be acting upon your email. That's when you experience this bot clicks or fake clicks and opens and unsubscribes. And we have come up with a feature that would completely avoid any bot or fake unsubscribes. It works something similar to what you have with a little bit more better functionality where you have higher control on the UI, meaning how it actually renders, and also a few other things that I would be demonstrating in the upcoming webinars. But today I'm just going to show you a couple of visually, I can show you some screenshots that would give you some idea. So what does it have? First one, basically, it's going to help you to avoid any bot or fake unsubscribes. And how do we do that? Because we're going to have the recipient to confirm their email address and also add the reCAPTCHA. And again, we really want that feedback from you as you start using this feature. If you really want to keep the reCAPTCHA or not, you can also try it out. And there is a setting that you could enable or disable if you do not want that, but we still want to keep it. And some customers, if you do not want it, you can always take it out. But we would want the recipient to enter their email address to confirm that it is, basically a human is unsubscribing themselves, not a bot software. And you can also add a custom header and a footer that has more flexibility so that you basically can display your own company logos and any other header information and the footer information. And we also have a little bit advanced display when it comes to group unsubscribe. And again, you would be seeing this in a detailed demo in the upcoming webinars. But today I'm just gonna talk about it. So when it comes to group unsubscribe, I'm sure some of you are familiar on how it actually works. You would give options to the users to choose which group or category of emails that they want to unsubscribe from. So today it's just a list option, meaning they can just like check the boxes and unsubscribe themselves from some of the categories or groups. But we also have a tiled image, meaning if you really want to have some sort of an image for each group, you could have an image uploaded. You can also add a description. So we display that as a tiled options that may work better for certain customers. So we got the feedback and we implemented that. And also, many of you asked, hey, do you guys have some sort of a preference page where we could just send a link to someone and they can just opt in or opt out from the groups? We have come up with that vanity email preferences page. You can just send that form to someone, just a link to anyone, and they can opt in and opt out from email preference groups or even global unsubscribe. It actually works for both. We also got a request from a client to build a sign-up form. So we are working on it. I cannot say that it's 100% ready or that we can say that we're going to include it in this new feature, but something that we are working on it. You may be able to see the sign-up form, but again, we'll let you know. But currently, we do have the vanity email preferences page, or you can call it as opt-in, opt-out preferences, where you can just send a link to your clients, and then they can just select what type of emails that they want to subscribe to or unsubscribe to. This is just to give you an idea what additional configurations that you may have. This is the current setting. This may change a little bit. We may make it a little bit more appealing. So you can see that you have an option for the list view and a tile view when it comes to group preferences. I don't have an example to show it today, but just again, assume that we're going to have that in the upcoming webinars. And you can see some of the other elements, such as the header and a footer for global unsubscribe, and the group unsubscribes is also part of this release, and few other options that you already seen earlier in the previous release. Those are still okay. Meaning what type of unsubscribe link that you're going to have in your email body. That's already available. What we have added is the header and a footer in this particular release and the tile view, and few other options that you would be seeing, reCAPTCHA, so on and so forth. This is how it's going to look. Again, you can always add your header and a footer here. This is just a sample page where you want the recipient to enter the email address and reCAPTCHA, so that way they can unsubscribe themselves as and when they want it. Okay. This is opt-in, opt-out preferences page, where again you're providing options for the user to check the boxes to opt-in, opt-out, certain from a specific a group of emails. And again, if you have been using this feature, you can have multiple email preference centers. Again, we have an option to display all or just a specific email preference groups as well. That's a little advanced. Again, just assume that this is the group unsubscribe feature page that we are come up with. Again, where the user is, the recipient is actually going to confirm the email address and enter the reCAPTCHA. Again, this reCAPTCHA can be turned off. That is in the settings. It should be done globally though. You can do that if you want it. And that's about the unsubscribe and group unsubscribe feature. And again, I'll take all the questions end of the webinar. And I'll keep going. A few other things that we have done. Some additional details and email statistics, one of which is the total recipients. A lot of clients have asked, hey, I do not know how many records are there in my list view or report, and how do we know? If you just want to keep that as statistics and the outreach, we have come up with a total recipients field. It would calculate the number of records, but again, that may not be the actual number that we are sending. It just like how many records are there in that query, but the actual recipients could be less, just because there are a lot of suppressions already in your system. I'm sure you're aware of all of that, but just know that we have total recipients as one more column that you can add into the statistics page. And one of the issues that we had was the storage. And again, we are still trying. We have at least come up with a feature where we can reduce the number of opens and clicks. That would help you with the storage. And also it makes more sense if you want to see when was the last time it was opened and first time it opened. We have that details and the number of opens. So you would have the open and click event just as just one open and one click event, but we would be storing the first open time and the last open time and the number of opens, same thing, first click time, last click time, and number of clicks. We're gonna do that. But if you're gonna have like multiple clicks, you're actually gonna see this information for each click event. So you're not really compromising on what all links have been clicked that we're going to store again. So let's say you have 5 links in your email, you would end up just seeing 5 click records, and we're going to give you the number of clicks for each unique URL, and also you would see the first and the last click time for both of them. Finally, it's actually going to help you tremendously with the data storage. I know that a lot of customers have that issue, but we have the tools already to purge the data storage as and when you want it, or just keep it running ongoing so that it cleans up the storage as you go. And flows, and again, a lot of clients have implemented flows. We package some of the flows, certain things that we felt that are quite commonly used, such as high volume campaign. If you have, say, I don't know, 100,000, 200, 300,000 in a single campaign, if you don't want to wait for a long time to really finish the job, you could actually just go rely on a campaign feature, split campaign feature, which would, in a way, split that campaign into sub-campaigns. It depends on how many sub-campaigns you want to create. Let's just assume that you want to send out, say, 10,000 emails. You want to split it into, say, 10 sub-campaigns and 1,000 each. They would run in parallel. And again, on a time-sharing basis, batch mode, but it would be faster. So we basically wanted to, some customers are already using it as a custom feature, but we packaged it. So that's called a split campaign feature. And then we have the drip campaign feature as well. That's as part of our flow now. You can run the email sequences using campaign, and you can have certain drip controls on the campaign objects, such as when do you want to start the drip and what type of campaign it is, and if you ever wanted to abort it, you could do that manually. And also I think there's active campaign feature as well. So basically, just assume that this flow is packaged now. You still have to customize and configure it based on your needs, because some clients may need 5 versus 6 versus 3 sequences. So you can always customize that. Similarly, we come up with a lead response drip as well, something similar where you have the sequence can be defined. Again, it would be in the flow, what type of emails you want to send for a specific campaign, and the controls would be on the lead. If you really want to put a lead on in a drip, you can get those controls in the lead object as well, and add the drip start date, drip campaign type, and the status. That makes it easy. Again, you would have to work with our professional services team to customize this feature, which may be chargeable, but you have this flows, and if you have developers or admins who can actually configure this for you, that's wonderful. We're going to come up with videos and also documentation on how to use them and how to configure and customize them. This is a very important feature when you're sending an outreach. If you ever wanted to, again, resend to certain individuals or the whole number of recipients for certain reasons. Previously, you had to recreate a list view and then query that specific outreach and query the specific recipients based on the email status and send it. It's a little, it used to be a little cumbersome. So now we have relaunch button that you could select. We're given 4 options so far. We thought that this is good enough, but we are happy to enhance this as we go, as we get the feedback. So basically, if your outreach ever stopped just because you ran out of credits and certain recipients did not receive the email, all you have to do is just click on the relaunch, select that undelivered recipients, and we're just going to go send it back again. We would not be sending it to the failed ones and suppressed ones. It's just people who did not receive the email earlier. Same thing, opens and clicks. We have that feature. Just if you just want to relaunch, you can just click on that opens and clicks, and same thing with all. I believe right now you're actually going to just send the same email, but if you wanted to send a different outreach, then you have to, different email, then you have to clone it, because it makes sense to clone and then use a different template though. But again, we welcome your feedback. If at all you want to enhance this feature, definitely we can certainly do that. And then you're aware that we have the bot event purge feature already, and we have enhanced it because sometimes we felt that the bot purge that's happening currently is not good enough. You may want to run that frequently, so we've given much more options here when it comes to scheduling time. You can run it as low as like 15, as quick as 15 minutes. You can go like up to 1 day, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 12 hours, and 24 hours time duration based on your instance or Salesforce platform configuration. You may want to play with this, but you can go as quick as 15 minutes. And some other features that we have here, again, miscellaneous ones that you can call. One security aspect, the API key currently is opened up for anyone, like maybe the admin access the users, but now we display only the partial API key. That's very important. And then the BCC section currently did not have the hide collapse feature. So that is something that you could do in the UI settings, standard options and BCC section. You can collapse it or hide it. Also, when you're creating a template, currently, the previous releases, we did not have an option to enter the preview text. Now we added that field, email preview text. So on the MassMailer template builder, you can very well just give that preview text so that it's not on the campaign or it's not on the outreach. It's actually on the template itself. And then if you have been using flows, you would know that every flow that gets triggered, every time the flow gets triggered, we create an outreach. There's no way to really figure out which outreach belongs to that flow. So right now, we are still not storing the flow name, but you have an option to just check that box in your flow, and then we store that particular outreach, or rather we flag that particular outreach that has been triggered by a flow. So that way you can at least know, okay, these are the outreaches that are triggered via the flow and rest of them manually triggered. And API, for API, we would come up with that in the upcoming release if at all you're triggering any outreach via API. So we would be, again, flagging that outreach triggered by an API that's in the upcoming release there. But right now, we have that option for the flows. So those are some little features that we added. And also, finally, many of you are not aware that MassMailer also has document management feature. So why did we build it? It's again for the file storage costs in Salesforce. You can actually reduce the storage cost. And also there are a lot of other document management features that we have come up with, such as, you can add an expiry date. You can store the files in folders, previews, copy, move. There are many features that are available in that MassMailer docs. The product that we have, it just like inbuilt in MassMailer though, just calls you just need to add some sections to your the layouts and also configuration that you had to do. But what we have done in this release, we basically have integrated that MassMailer docs with email attachments feature what we have. So previously you were able to upload or you were able to select any attachment from Salesforce, whether it is in the content or the regular attachment. That's what we used to allow you to do that. But right now we also integrated with MassMailer docs. So if you're going to use MassMailer docs to store your files, you can actually attach those files with your emails as well. That's going to be very easy. And of course, it's actually going to reduce the overall file storage cost if you're going to store a lot of files in Salesforce. I think MassMailer docs could be a better feature for you to utilize. So that integration is available. So that's pretty much it. Happy to take any questions from anyone. Okay, anyone having any questions, you can type in into the Q&A. Okay, Shashi, yeah, please go ahead. Yep, if you can please.
Siva, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in one of the slides you said that users, can store the documents. Which documents they can store? The documents related to the emails?
Any document, it's as good as Salesforce content. So if you ever use Salesforce attachments, docs, or content feature, it's something similar. So the files are not stored in Salesforce. That's how
Okay.
you can basically reduce the overall storage cost. The files are stored in Rackspace. Again, you would have to buy Rackspace license your own. We would not have any control on that. That's something that you have to pay to Rackspace directly. That's again for security reasons. We do not want to really hold any access to your files. But you can just put that API key from your Rackspace account, and then you can store files in Salesforce. And those files can be attached as regular email attachments in Salesforce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And one last question: will there be the recording of this meeting?
Absolutely.
Available?
So yeah, absolutely. I'm going to share this presentation as well as the recording after this webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shashi. Anyone questions? You can also type in your question in Q&A box. Okay, seems like no more questions here. Again, this webinar is something that I'm restarting the webinar series. So you would see this happening every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. I know that I have done it Friday, but I didn't want to skip this week. Otherwise, it would be on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific every week. We would talk about one of the topics. I mean, the upcoming immediate topics are going to be on the new features, on how to upgrade to the latest version, and also all individual features. I'm going to go in detail, just like walk you through on how to set up, configure on certain features that we actually talked today. Once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. It was great seeing you all after a long time. Have a great weekend, all of you. Thank you again. Bye.